Hello, beautiful soul. I'm Vicki Howie of ChakraBoosters.com, the creator of Chakra Boosters Healing Tattoos. And now in 2021, I'm also the creator of CirclingSpace.com. It's an online place where we gather to experience more authentic communication and connection. And of course, when we connect with each other, it's a beautiful way for us to really connect with self and have more self-awareness. So I'm inviting you to join me there. I actually personally facilitate at least 2 circles a week. I have tapping circles that I do. If you like tapping and shadow work and things like that, join me and my other facilitators at CirclingSpace.com. And now for your energy forecast for April 2021. I'm going to start out by sharing 3 themes. Then I'm going to share the key dates for the month. And finally, I'm going to end by drawing 2 oracle cards, one for the first half of the month and one for the second half of the month. And I use Doreen Virtue's goddess cards. And it seems more apt than ever this month because Venus is really in the spotlight. And you know how much I love when Venus is in the spotlight. It feels so fitting for this more embodied and more feminine and learning about love era. The first theme is that this month is about acting from a new, stronger sense of self, and it is perpetual going forward, meaning you won't bounce into this and back out. This is something that we're coming to at the end of March with the full moon at the end of March, which I will talk about. And then it leads into the Aries season, being able to act on this new self. You're going to have a better, more authentic, more healed relationship and clarity with who you really are. It's exciting. Second, your relationships are going to have growth. And this is because healing and knowing who you are and healing your relationship with self always affects your relationships with others. And Venus is very predominant coming this month and at the end of March going into April. So she's bringing her relational energy. We also have a Libra full moon, and Libra is the relationship moon, right? So the Libra full moon's at the end of March. That's leading us into April. So those 2 are there. And then finally, I just wanted to explain this in chakra terms. Our third theme is around the chakras because I really want you to feel into this new sort of beautiful flow between heart and solar plexus. These 2 have often seemed like they're at odds, but they totally support each other. And in this month, more than ever, we're going to get a chance to finally interweave them, to begin to feel and experience the beautiful relationship between the 2 instead of just a balance between them while they're separate. And a way to put this would be, I just saw like a canvas, right? And we're mixing, say we took the green and the yellow and we're mixing it around and we're getting a new color. And we're getting places where there's more green and there's more yellow, but then there's places where they're mixed together. Versus a canvas where we have half the canvas yellow and half the canvas green. Feel that? That's balanced but separate. Now we're moving past separation and beginning to learn how they interconnect and how they flow and support each other. So that's our third theme. Let's look at the dates. This month in particular, I am focused on Venus. We start the end of March with a huge event around Venus. So I'm looking at Venus a lot and I'm looking at the moon cycles a lot, which I usually do, but I left off a lot of other stuff, a lot of other squares and stuff. I don't want to complicate this month. I really want you to feel the pure feminine beauty that's happening in April, while being activated with the pure warrior masculine Aries energy that we have during this season. Okay, again, that merging of the solar and the heart. Can't say that enough. Okay, so let's begin with this last week in March, and I'll start with the moon that's on the 28th of March. It's a Libra full moon at 11:48 a.m. Pacific time. Adjust for your time in the world. And it's at 8 degrees of Libra, which means on the other side, you have the sun in 8 degrees of Aries. This Aries Libra axis is the one I'm talking about, the heart solar plexus. Can you feel that? And on this other side where the sun is at 8 degrees, we have also Venus, the feminine, in next to the sun. So we have that, and we also have Chiron, the wounded healer. Now these three are great together, but in particular, when Venus conjuncts the sun, we have something happen called a Venus star point. It happens every 9 months, and only every 9 months, and it's Venus's passageway through the skies. And when she does 5 of these 9 months apart points, she creates a star. It's beautiful sacred geometry, and she is creating this star by being conjunct right during the full moon. She's also, the star literally is happening the whole last week, about the 23rd, depending on where you are in the world, of March through the 30th. You can experience this Venus star point energy of the sun being conjunct Venus. And because of where the sun is, the sun, I want to say he, will hide Venus a little bit. So it's not about seeing Venus in the sky, but it is a powerful conjunction that brings out more of our ability to deal with relational matters and Venus, things of love, okay, self-love and love of other, beauty, feminine enjoyment of life, and understanding the importance of relationships. So this energy, though, is what's so key, and you're going to hear me say this over and over again, is it's happening with 8 degrees, which is the numerological number of power. It's also the infinity sign, right? It's power. It's got earth. It's got sustainability. It's a healing number. And there's Chiron, right? Telling us we're healing. We're healing. Let's look at those 3 planets. Venus, our relationships, our feminine, our enjoyment, our beingness, our beauty. The sun, our masculine, conscious self, our day-to-day self. And Chiron, the wounded healer, our wounds from childhood, the story, the things that we brought in to heal. So we then could feel the contrast of that healing and feel and share it with others. It's really the walk of the shaman. Chiron always reminds me of that. The wounded healer is wounded to heal, to have actual experience in healing, to share with others. And there's also just the pure joy. If you're never wounded, then you never feel the pure joy of the healing. So that's one way of looking at your wound, as something that gives you a relational experience of great freedom and great joy. And then with these 3 being in Aries, we also have the beautiful full moon in Libra, that Libra fairness, relational energy, and the moon is the unconscious, the feminine. Can you feel what's happening there? There's this huge, I normally say on a new moon, an activation, and this one is definitely like a celebration. It feels like a graduation. If you've been working toward accepting your masculine, feminine, or having a better relationship with self, treating yourself better this usually entails your masculine and feminine. And therefore, better relations with other people that have masculine or feminine energies in your life. If you've been working toward that, and if you've had wounding, who hasn't, around a mother or a father energy, this could be a big celebration time of seeing that you're stepping out of it. That chapter closes. And Mars is also conjunct the North Node. The North Node is our soul lesson right now. And the soul lesson right now is to move away from old beliefs. Sagittarius is the South Node, to move away from just accepting old beliefs that we've inherited and to get lots of new information from different sources. So with Mars, the planet that rules Aries, conjunct the North Node, it's saying we're ready to begin to take action in this area of information, changing our ideas, opening our mind. And these 2 are conjunct at 14 degrees. 1 and 4 is 5. So we, again, Gemini is the throat chakra. Mars is the solar plexus. We're talking about taking action. And because Chiron is here in this full moon in such an important place, right, directly across from the full moon, it is helping us to heal any chokingness we've had, any fear we've had to grow, because this is also the growth chakra, or to go into our full spirituality, our full healing, our full expansion. It's saying take action on what you know now, share it, share your voice, and listen to others' voices. So there's a lot of throat chakra activation and healing. So everything here says soul growth. Soul growth. Celebrate your soul's growth in the very tangible way that you now know yourself better. This is a big time for that. And I sometimes think we graduate but don't celebrate the graduation, and then it doesn't take on as much power and it doesn't enliven in our life as much. So I'm asking you to really notice what wounds that you've healed in this area and how you've learned to better love who you uniquely are. In this full moon, we're carrying this energy over from the Venus star point into the month of April. And I'm going to really follow Venus because she enthralls me in this month. It's beautiful. We're going to focus on her. On the 6th of April, she sextiles Mars. Now, sextiles a light harmony, lighter than a trine. But this feels really good because Mars is a detrimental energy or a complementary energy. So again, we're sextiling. It's the masculine and feminine coming together. And then on the 10th of April, Venus is sextiling Jupiter, the crown energy, the highest, luckiest, most positive energies. So anything is possible. So it's saying, it's continuing to guide her. And that Jupiter sextile moves into April 11th, where we have a new moon in Aries, 22 degrees Aries, the higher divine feminine, double sacral chakra energy at 7:30 p.m. Pacific time. Now, the Aries, this new moon in Aries is also a party of planets. There's a stellium in Aries here. We have, of course, when it's a new moon, you have the sun and the moon conjunct in Aries at 22, 2, divine feminine. 4, 2 and 2 equals 4, heart chakra energy, healing, balance. We also have Venus. We also have Mercury, the communicator. We have Chiron, there's that wounded healer again. And we have Ceres. Think of her as the most healing, nurturing aspects of Mother Earth. She, like Mother Nature, think of her as Mother Nature. So this feels delicious because Aries is the action energy. A new moon is action. It's initiation. It's go for it. So again, it feels to me like it's asking us to really dovetail. Venus here is at 26 degrees. 2 and 6 is 8. So she's back to that power position again. She's not in absolute conjunction with the sun and the moon, but she's here right next to them at 26 degrees. So she's still given the proper orb. She's still in conjunction with them. So this feels like just a new opportunity to take what you discovered that you had healed in that Libra full moon, especially around masculine and feminine and relationships, and now make new intentions to move forward with this new moon energy in this number 1 sign, the new sign of Aries, right? Pisces is the 12th sign. Aries is the beginning. It goes for it. It initiates. Sometimes it's overly pushy or too fiery, but when you think about how a rocket takes off, right? It's like, what takes off a rocket? That initiatory energy to send it out into sky has to be so, so powerful. That is the energy of Aries. use the energy around these areas of your life, the Venus area of your relationships with self and with others, with beauty, money as well, too, money and abundance and pleasure and enjoyment. I just recently saw a movie, biography of Audrey Hepburn, and she has Venus rules Taurus, and she's a really dead center Taurus, and she really embodies what that is about, what that Venus energy is about. It's about this authentic feminine energy that truly has an elegance and can enjoy the good things in life. Like when you look at her, even the way every movie, the way she's dressed, the elegance, that's the Taurian or Venus energy. So what do you want to initiate in that? That feels good to me. Like I want to initiate more of that energy. And then there's the Mercury. So how do you want to communicate as this new self that you are, this new, stronger, more integrated? I was going to say balanced, but I really want to say integrated self. And as you're setting your intentions for this new moon, are there any other areas that you want to, I was going to say that you want to heal, but it's really not so much about the healing. It feels to me, my guides are leading me into saying you really completed so much healing in that Libra full moon. It's like rather set intentions of how you can get your healing out into the world. What you've learned through your wounds, how do you get that healing? What have you learned from your wounds, and how can you act on it and get it out into the world? And that's why Chiron is there. And then how can you just be better to planet and more loving to others and to planet all around you? How can you bring that mother energy, whether you're a male or a female, of Ceres? Okay, on the 14th of April, finally, sorry to drag this out, we're going to see Venus enter Taurus. I just want to say this because Venus has been dancing a lot with Aries, and that's her detriment is Aries, but she's exalted in Taurus. It's her home. She rules Taurus. She rules Taurus and Libra. So I just want to note, she's like, woo, I'm home. So you can even play more with the Venus elements you've been working with, and you can maybe feel how it just has a little more homey feeling on the 14th, after the 14th. Finally, on the 26th of April, we have a super moon, a full moon, a super full moon, which means it's closer to the earth and it's more powerful. And it's Scorpio at 7 degrees. This is happening at 8:31 p.m. Pacific time, so adjust for your place in the world. Scorpio for me is like, right away I just think intense, right? Intensity and emotional, because it's a water sign, emotional intensity and sensual, sexual intensity. So when we're in a super moon, be ready for things to come up. And Scorpio is also about depth. So this is a time to be ready and prepared for the fact that because it's a super moon, there might be more emotions, more sensuality, more sexuality, more depth, more flow from the water parts of yourself that are seeking transformation. And this is a good time. This moon feels not as much about celebration. The Libra full moon is all celebration. This moon feels more about let go, about completion. Now let go. And here are a few of my suggestions of what you might want to let go of on this super moon. At 7 degrees, 7 degrees is consciousness. It's the highest, it's the crown chakra. It's the awareness. So you might want to let go of pure obsessions. You know, we all need a little obsession in life, passion, it's fun. But if something is ruling you and it's an unconscious obsession, how can you work with that and just say goodbye? Maybe do a ritual and let it go. It's a good time to let go of sexual hang-ups. How can you be more okay with whatever is your natural sexuality, your natural sensuality, whether it's super robust or more timid, or it's really public or very private. Whatever yours is what it is, and it's perfect, whatever it is. So how can you come into more acceptance of your own sexuality and let go of any sexual judgment on yourself or others, especially self in this moon? And finally, how can you let go of maybe places where you have picked up others, particularly your caregivers, superficiality around things. And take it deeper, deeper into your own soul. And one way to go deeper into your own soul is to grab a shovel and to dig. And to dig, we need to let go of our attachment to the more superficial layers, to how things look, right? To, the surface part of things. So this supermoon is inviting you to let go of that as well. And perhaps other things, whatever your intuition tells you to let go of. I feel the water flowing transformational aspect of Scorpio and the consciousness of that 7 degrees happening for this moon. So I'm deeply inviting you to let go of whatever your soul tells you it's time to let go of. And to celebrate whatever your soul tells you it's time to celebrate. So that's it for our dates for the month. I brought the goddess cards and I'm going to shuffle them here 3 times with you. And we're going to pick a goddess card for the first half of the month and one for the second half of the month, which means I'm going to put on my reading glasses. Okay, so that's 1. This is number 2. Some people can shuffle so much better than me. I'm certainly not a card dealer. Okay, that's our final one, and I'm going to put on my glasses, and we're going to see what we've got here. Okay, ready? Here we go. Our first goddess card for April, the first half of April is, I love this. I've been drawing this one lately quite a bit, haven't I? It's Mother Mary. Expect a miracle. Have faith that your prayers have been heard and are being answered. This Venus star point feels that way to me. It feels like this is the energy that's moving into out of March. It's happening at the end of March and moving into April. Anything is possible. It's a whole new chapter, and it is a chapter of miracles that come from love, from motherly energy, from feminine energy, from Venetian energy, or you say Venusian? I don't know. It's Venusian. Venetian is the place. Venusian energy that comes from Venus's energy. So that just feels right on. It reminds me that there is so much that can happen through love. What can happen when we come into a stronger sense of self through love, not through false ego, but through actually loving our unique being and understanding our unique being. Because that's also what's happening with that Libra full moon, is that there's just been this deeper understanding with Chiron helping us out and understanding our wounds. So that feels right. Love, it's about love. It's about being there in the first half of the month. And then we get that new moon, and then it will shift more into how do we turn this more into action, right? And let's see what the second goddess card is. Athena, inner wisdom. You know what to do. Trust your inner wisdom and take appropriate action without delay. So in this card, Athena looks, she's got the owl, it's wisdom, but Athena's very known, and why it says action on the bottom there, she's known for action. She's very much about Mars, Aries type action. And that really is what the season is about. And that's what that new moon is kicking in. So that second half of the month can be, now, how do I not just own this? How do I make actions that bring it into service for myself and others in the world? That's all I'm going to say on that. That just feels so simple. We are following the love of self and other through Mother Mary for the first half of the month. And in the second half, we're following our inner wisdom and we're acting on it through Athena. That's the important thing, the action of Athena. So that's it for your April forecast. Thank you for joining me for this forecast. And I hope you have a month that is enthralled with the gift of the feminine that is being offered on this planet right now. If we don't get lost in the din of the energies that want to keep things the way they were, that chaos, that noise, that cacophony, then we can hear the sound of our own hearts and our desire to connect and our desire to be one family on this planet while being in more acceptance of our own unique selves. That's the age of Aquarius. That's what we're going through right now. We can have both. We can create both. And this is a beautiful month to fully love and embrace yourself and then take your new self out into the world. I'll see you on the next video. Until then, much love.